Let me start the talk by telling you a story. A happy parrot was once kept in a cage. It didn't know what was happening, but all it knew is that it couldn't fly all over the sky, eat the food it likes, and experience the tremendous nature. The owner of the cage asked her to memorize and speak words which she didn't like, but she didn't have any other option. Sounds somewhere similar, right? This is the case of you and me. Do you think the education system is fulfilling the whole purpose of it? Well, I can understand your blank faces, and that is because of the vast difference of our opinion and our parents' opinion on this. Indian parents just want two things from their child: good scores in exams and better scores than Sharma ji ka beta. I knew all this was happening, and I wanted to find a solution for this. The present education system asks you to listen and act, but not to ask a question. The modern education system focuses in implementing the European style of learning, which was more information-based rather than knowledge-based. Lord Babington Macaulay, the person who has introduced the modern education system, believed that India was uncivilized and that it needed to be civilized. His statement, a single shelf of a good European library was worth of the whole native language of India and Arabia, has clearly proved this. The simple example which I'm going to give you will make you think twice about what I'm saying. A concept in 10th grade, that is the periodic table, has 116 elements according to the textbook. But in reality, 118 elements were found. We have a lot of talent in our country, and it is our duty to preserve it. And this is a simple reason why 80% of Indian engineers are left unemployable. I knew all this was happening, and after all this, I questioned myself, what do we as students need? And the only answer after a deep thought was awareness and enrichment towards our culture, value of living a cultured and a disciplined life, the capability to understand your uniqueness and working on it, privilege to choose my own career path, and most importantly, the freedom to be me. When I gave a deep thought on what fulfills one's basic requirement towards education, I got to know about the ancient education system. This is something you as the tomorrow need to think about. And as a person, this holds up all the values which one need. After a research on this thought, I believe that every student should get an opportunity to experience this type of learning. This type of learning allows different type of learners to learn in their own unique way. The values of living a cultured and a disciplined life was given a higher priority. It was not about scoring good in exams, but it was about learning the best. Mainly, the 6 aims of education help the students in various ways. Every one day of the year, the students offered food to the guests passed by. This helped the students acknowledge the value of sacrifice. All these are not like a rat race towards good scores. These represent human values. How can we implement the ancient education system, which means a lot to our ancestors, and make a better version of the present? All this should start from when the child is young. The teacher should be trained to be a gardener, because the garden contains of a variety of plants. Some may be climbers, which need a stick support to climb. Some may be creepers, and some may be shrubs. The student should have the capability to raise the hand and ask a question, because silly questions never exist, only perspectives do. The mentor should understand the student's unique capability and help them in nurturing it. Moral values, Indian traditions, which means a lot to our ancestors, should be taught. And coming to the enemy of all the time, exams. Exams should be considered as a test which allows the mentor to understand the student's capability, but not a stress which affects the students in all ways possible. It has been 75 years since we Indians got independence. It has been 187 years since the modern education system was introduced. We were forced to take up the European curriculum, which was out of our whole habitat. We were forced to deny all our cultures which existed all these years, sustain the country to be rich in culture, value and discipline. The impact of them is still affecting the student who is going to school every single day. This is today. You as a student, you as a teacher, or you as an audience should spark the change. Getting back our cultures, which means a lot to our ancestors, and implementing it in some great initiatives like the New Education Policy 2020 is important for us as a tomorrow. This talk may or may not reach, but what I need is the parrot should acquire the freedom to fly all over the sky. Thank you, but all I need is not a clap, but a swap in your mind.